In other news, there's a cabinet meeting today. President Trump is set to hold this high-stakes cabinet meeting today at the White House, not at Camp David. They moved it as his administration maps out the next steps in their negotiations with Iran.
So this comes as Tehran accuses the United States of violating the fragile ceasefire agreement.
Which is farcical on its face. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst joins us live for the latest from Tel Aviv. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The final details for a possible agreement between the United States and Iran are still being discussed. Tension across the region has certainly decreased because there is hope of a deal between these two countries that would avert a return to war, but also address Iran's nuclear program and open the Strait of Hormuz. Regional officials say that implementation of an agreement is even more important than what is written in a possible deal.
I think there's strong alignment and agreement on what a preliminary draft should look like. I think that, like anything with something like this, it's going to take a couple days to settle on, even down to the disagreements over a word, sentence. So we'll have to work through that. If there's going to be a deal, we're going to have to work through that. But this is, it's either going to be a good deal or there isn't going to be one.
We're also tracking the conflict between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. An Israeli official told Fox News that preparations are underway for the upcoming meeting in Washington on Thursday that will formally mark the start of the military-to-military channel between Israel and Lebanon. The official added that Iran hopes the broader ceasefire will undermine the current efforts between Israel and Lebanon aimed at weakening Hezbollah. Overnight, the IDF launched a series of airstrikes in southern Lebanon as ground forces are advancing deeper into Hezbollah territory.
Under my direction and that of the defense minister, together with the chief of staff, we are deepening our operation in Lebanon. The IDF is operating with large forces on the ground and taking control of strategic areas. We are fortifying the security zone to protect the northern communities.
Overnight, the Israelis also conducted a new airstrike inside the Gaza Strip, going after the latest military leader of Hamas. Guys?
So, Trey, is it your belief from the sources that you have that if we decide on a ceasefire for that to continue as we work on a deal for 60 days, do you think Israel will still look at themselves as separate from that and do what they have to do to make sure there's no threat coming their direction from Iran and maybe continue with their assassination campaign?
I think as it relates to Iran, based on the conversations that I've had with regional sources, they will adhere to the directive of the Trump administration. The Israelis at this point do not appear poised to conduct a unilateral operation against the Iranian regime because there is this high-level coordination ongoing each and every day. We know last night Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump spoke over the phone. There's also military coordination taking place. But if we've learned anything over the past 2 years in the region, it's that you never know what is going to happen next. And the reality is both the United States military and the Israeli military remain on high alert, understanding that if these negotiations derail and the Iranian regime again decides to play games at the deal-making table, that ultimately this war could resume. And so despite the fact they feel they are close to an agreement, the region is still bracing for the possibility that this war could resume.
All right. Trey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Got to get the Strait open.
Yeah, but they're upset with us. We had to be defensive. We needed to self-defense tactics. They were having these small little speedboats drop mines in the strait.
In the middle of the negotiation of the deal.
Exactly,
and that's
the ceasefire.
Why I, respect the president's admiration for peace. That's what he's been doing ever since he, got back into office. But you can't negotiate with people on one hand, say they want peace, and then are mining the strait.
Correct.
So it just doesn't work that way.
They're beginning to slowly open up the internet because they need the commerce, but that will also allow communications amongst the people.
Well, Jack Keane said if they open the straits, then we remove our blockade, right? But he said the Iranians want authority over all of it. And he said we can't let that stand. These are international waters. There's international law that protects against that.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.